right, Eagles fans, get ready, because there's a lot to unpack today. The trade deadline may be behind us, but the drama in Philadelphia is just getting started. Howie Roseman and the front office have been working overtime, and even after the window closed, the Eagles made a few roster tweaks that are already turning heads. And to make things even better, we got some huge news coming out of practice. Edge rusher Nolan Smith is officially back in action. You could feel the energy at the NovaCare complex when that window opened. The guy just brings a different vibe, that spark that every defense needs. His explosiveness, his bend off the edge, that relentless motor. He plays like a man who refuses to be contained. And remember, this is a dude who went off during that playoff run last season. 6 sacks in the regular year, for more in the postseason, leading everyone through the playoffs before that triceps injury in the Super Bowl. The rehab was intense, and the fact that he's already back says everything about his work ethic. He came into training camp looking sharp, got through the first few games, but then that setback against the Rams put him back on the shelf. The good news? He's been hinting for weeks that his return was close, and now it's official. He's eligible to play against the Packers this week under the bright lights of Lambeau Field. You know how poetic that is. Prime time, the cathedral of football, and Nolan Smith coming back to do what he does best, cause chaos in the backfield. He even teased it himself on Instagram, saying, "One more week, and then I'm back." And now it's that week. This couldn't come at a better time because, honestly, the Eagles' pass rush has been up and down. The interior guys, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro Ojomo, they've been carrying the load. The pressure inside has been solid, but the edge rush, a little inconsistent. So, getting Nolan Smith back is massive. Add that to the new addition of Jalen Phillips, who they landed for a third-round pick, and the return of Brandon Graham from retirement, and suddenly, this rotation looks deep. Smith and Phillips as your starters, Josh Uche and Jix Hunt right behind them, and then Graham coming in as that veteran spark. Man, that's a lineup loaded with firepower and experience. Now, Nolan might not have lit up the stat sheet early in the season, but anyone watching closely knows how much he brings beyond numbers. The energy, the toughness, the way he sets the edge against the run despite being undersized, it all feeds into the identity of this defense. His Pro Football Focus grades back it up too. Solid marks across the board, including an underrated grade against the run and plenty of pressures in just a few games. You combine that with Jalen Phillips, who's been one of the most disruptive players in football since week 3, and you've got a scary edge duo. Phillips can move around, play inside or out, and he knows Vic Fangio's system like the back of his hand. When Phillips touched down in Philly, he said something that probably made every fan smile. He told reporters he wouldn't want to be anywhere else. He loves the winning culture, and he's pumped to reunite with Fangio. Remember, back in 2023, when they were together in Miami, Phillips had 6.5 sacks in just 8 games. That's chemistry you can build around. And Howie Roseman knows exactly what he's doing here. You don't make moves like these unless you believe this roster can win it all. Speaking of moves, let's break down how busy Howie has been over the last week. In just a few days, the guy pulled off trades for Michael Carter II, Jaire Alexander, and Jalen Phillips. That's 3 significant additions to the defense. Alexander, a 2-time All-Pro, hasn't had the best stretch recently because of injuries, but the talent is undeniable. Howie even mentioned he'd been eyeing Alexander since the offseason. When the chance came up to grab him, he didn't hesitate. The Eagles wanted more depth at cornerback, and bringing in a veteran who's familiar with Christian Parker from their Green Bay days just made too much sense. Plus, word is Alexander's knee is finally trending in the right direction. Then there's Michael Carter too. This one's sneaky good. He's mainly played in the slot, but he's got the toughness and instincts to play safety too. Fangio loves versatility, and Carter fits that mold perfectly. He's great against the run, solid in coverage, and adds another layer of flexibility to a defense that's already among the most creative in the league. Howie pointed out that injuries early in the year showed how critical cornerback depth can be, and these moves make sure they're not caught short again. Now, for everyone who was panicking about A.J. Brown rumors, take a deep breath. Howie shut that down completely. He said it himself. It's hard to be great without great players. You don't trade one of the top 3 receivers in football if you're trying to win a Super Bowl. Brown's a captain for a reason. He's not going anywhere. When it comes to the Phillips trade, Howie made it clear what the vision is. He said this deal wasn't difficult because it aligns with what the team needs to stay elite, dominant pass rush. Look back at the Super Bowl performance against Patrick Mahomes. 16 pressures, 6 sacks, and not a single blitz. That's how you win championships in this league. So, bringing in another dynamic edge rusher was a no-brainer. And let's be honest, this team is built to compete now. With the roster depth, the leadership, and the chemistry under Fangio's system, the Eagles are positioning themselves for another deep playoff run. The way Howie moves during these windows, it's like watching chess at high speed. He sees the holes before they become problems. Meanwhile, across the league, there's been pure chaos. The Cowboys, desperate to fix that weak defense, went out and traded for linebacker Logan Wilson from the Bengals. Good player, captain material, but not exactly a game changer. Then they went even bigger, landing Quinnen Williams from the Jets for a massive haul. 2 picks and Nolan Smith in the deal. Williams is a monster against the run, but with that contract, it's a risky play for Dallas. They might get better in the short term, but long term, that's going to sting. Over in Seattle, the Seahawks quietly made what might be one of the smartest moves of the day, grabbing Rashid Shaheed, one of the most electric deep threats in the league. Pairing him with Jackson Smith-Njigba, Cooper Kupp once he's back, and Torrey Horton gives Sam Darnold a serious arsenal. The Seahawks are for real this year. That defense is already terrifying, and now they've got more juice on offense too. The Jets, though, they shocked everyone. Trading Sauce Gardner after paying him? Unreal. But they did get 2 first-rounders and a promising young receiver in Adonai Mitchell from the Colts. The Colts are clearly all in this year, trying to make a statement while they've got the momentum. Chicago made a move for Joe Tryon after losing one of their top rushers to injury. It's a gamble, but they need help off the edge. And through all that madness, the Eagles kept their focus. Howie didn't panic, didn't overreact. He stuck to the plan, built depth where it matters most, and got his star pass rusher back at the perfect time. The way this roster looks right now, you can feel the confidence. The players know it. The fans know it. And come primetime at Lambeau, we're about to see just how dangerous this team can be when they're fully healthy and fully loaded. The crazy thing about this Eagles team right now is how balanced they've become. A few weeks ago, it felt like the offense was carrying the load while the defense tried to find its rhythm. But with these new additions and Nolan Smith back in the mix, the tone has completely changed. You can sense it in the locker room. This quiet confidence that comes when guys believe in the system and in each other. Vic Fangio's defense thrives on versatility and discipline, and now he's got every piece he needs to run it exactly how he wants. Imagine rolling out a pass-rushing lineup of Smith, Phillips, Carter, and Davis. That's 4 players who can win one-on-one, all with different styles and skill sets. It's a nightmare for any offensive line. What stands out most about Fangio's approach is how he uses speed to dictate everything. When Nolan Smith is on the edge, quarterbacks have to make decisions a split second faster. That changes play calling. It changes how offensive coordinators script their drives. Even if he doesn't get the sack, the pressure forces bad throws, rushed reads, and mistakes that the secondary can capitalize on. That's where guys like Darius Slay and Reed Blankenship come in. They feed off chaos. You saw flashes of that earlier this season, but with the reinforcements Howie brought in, it could reach another level entirely. The locker room dynamic is fascinating too. Brandon Graham, coming out of retirement, brings leadership that you just can't teach. He's been through everything, from heartbreaks to Super Bowl glory, and his voice carries weight. When a young guy like Nolan Smith can look over and see a veteran like Graham grinding every single day, that's contagious. It sets a tone. And Jalen Phillips? He's stepping in with something to prove. Miami gave up on him too early, and you can tell he's hungry to show what he can do in a system that actually fits his skill set. He's fast, physical, and his motor never stops. You put him next to players who have that same energy, and it becomes electric. Howie Roseman talked about something interesting in his press conference. He said the key to being elite isn't just having stars, it's having layers of talent. The kind of depth where if someone goes down, The next guy steps in, and there's no drop-off. That's the philosophy that's kept Philadelphia at the top for the last few years. You look at other teams that fall apart when injuries hit, but the Eagles don't panic. They reload. It's the same reason they're still a contender, even after losing key pieces earlier in the season. On offense, it's the same story. Jalen Hurts continues to evolve as a leader. His ability to stay composed, no matter what's happening on the field, is rare. He's not just playing quarterback. He's commanding a group of professionals who believe in him. The chemistry with A.J. Brown and Nolan Smith is as sharp as ever, and with Dallas Goedert working back into rhythm, the passing game looks dangerous again. And then there's that offensive line, arguably the best in football. Lane Johnson and Jason Kelce keep defying time, and the way they anchor that front gives Hurts the confidence to take shots downfield. But make no mistake, the Eagles' identity this season will be built around defense. Fangio's fingerprints are all over it now. It's no longer about just getting sacks. It's about controlling tempo, forcing offenses into mistakes, and winning situational football. You can already see the adjustments paying off. Better tackling, more discipline in coverage, and a noticeable improvement in third down defense. And with players like Michael Carter too now in the rotation, Fangio has more flexibility to disguise looks, rotate coverages, and keep offenses guessing. Across the league, everyone's talking about the chaos of this trade deadline. It's one of the wildest in recent memory. Teams like the Jets and Cowboys are swinging for the fences, trying to fix deep-rooted problems overnight. The Cowboys bringing in Quinnen Williams was a statement, sure, but it also felt desperate. When you look at Philadelphia, the difference is clear. Every move Howie makes feels calculated. He's not reacting, he's anticipating. That's what separates a front office that chases success from one that builds it. The Eagles' mindset right now feels different. They're not chasing redemption for last year's Super Bowl loss. They're building something sustainable. You can feel that the goal isn't just to make it back, it's to stay there year after year. That's why these moves matter. Bringing in players who fit the culture, who understand the grind, and who can handle the weight of big expectations. It's not easy to play in Philly. The fans demand perfection, and when things go wrong, they let you know it. But that's exactly what makes this team stronger. And how about the chemistry between Hurts and A.J. Brown? Every time they connect for a big play, it feels like a message to the rest of the league. The Eagles are coming, and they're not slowing down. Brown's combination of strength, speed, and precision makes him almost unguardable, and Hurts has mastered the timing with him. Even defenses that game plan specifically to stop that connection can't do much once Hurts starts spreading the ball around. Nolan Smith has that quiet confidence too. He doesn't need to talk. He just makes plays when it matters most. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers have been circulating across NFL circles, and sources close to the league hint at a seismic shakeup in Philadelphia. Word on the street is that Trevor Lawrence, the young quarterback who has already turned heads with his poise and arm talent, could be donning the midnight green of the Eagles for the next 4 seasons. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the buzz alone has sent fans and analysts into a frenzy, speculating about the implications for the NFC East. Insiders suggest that talks have moved at a breakneck pace, fueled by Philadelphia's clear desire to solidify a long-term solution at quarterback. Lawrence, who was drafted as a generational talent, has been linked to numerous trade rumors over the past seasons, but landing him on the Eagles roster would represent a bold statement by the franchise, a declaration that they're ready to compete at the highest level immediately. Imagine Lincoln Financial Field echoing with the cheers for a young star quarterback, whose combination of arm strength, mobility, and comm under pressure has already earned him comparisons to some of the game's modern greats. Fans on social media are already imagining the possibilities. Could Lawrence pair with Philadelphia's dynamic receiving core to form an offense that rivals the league's elite? Would head coach Nick Sirianni adjust his schemes to fully exploit Lawrence's talents? Or will the young quarterback adapt to a system built around balance and timing? The rumors also sparked debate over the Eagles' current roster composition. Speculation abounds over which veteran players might be shifted to make room for the new signal caller, and how this move could affect the locker room dynamics. League insiders caution that while the deal is reportedly close, NFL negotiations are notoriously fluid. Contract details, guaranteed money, and potential clauses could still shift the outcome. Yet, the mere possibility of Lawrence in Philadelphia has reignited hope among Eagles fans, many of whom have yearned for a franchise quarterback capable of leading the team deep into the playoffs. As the rumor mill churns, one thing is clear. If Trevor Lawrence does indeed sign a 4-year pact with the Eagles, the NFL landscape could be about to witness one of the most talked-about quarterback moves in recent memory. For now, all eyes remain on official confirmations. But in the high-octane world of NFL speculation, the mere whisper of Lawrence in Philadelphia is enough to set the sports world ablaze. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.